Hi, friends, and welcome back to the podcast. How is October treating you? Are you having a good October? What's going on? What's happening at your house? Or have all the leaves fallen off the trees? Do you feel like winter is just right around the corner? Do you feel like you're just, you can't keep up? Anyway, today what I wanted to do is to talk to you about crafting what I call a power sentence. Now, this is something that I talk about inside chapter 7 of She Thinks Big. So, if you have not gotten your copy of She Thinks Big, if you have not gifted one to someone, head over to shethinksbig.com, the book, or shethinksbigthebook.com. Oh my gosh, and get your copy. Okay. And you also there will find a link, can find your way to the action package offer that I am only offering right now after this book launched. So it is a package that includes a Vision to Action Intensive and a ticket to the live event in January that will be happening, all day live event. She Thinks Big Live that you'll want to be at, and also access to a course that I'm creating in 2024. So head over to shethinksbigthebook.com and check that all out. All right, so here's what we're talking today: power sentences. Crafting your power sentence and what that really means. So your power sentence is a component of your vision. It's really the statement about yourself that's going to fuel your vision. It keeps you in that belief mode. We talked a little bit about that 2 episodes ago. Keeps you in that belief mode, which really triggers actions. Okay, now, why do you need this power, what I'm calling a power sentence? The reason you need it is because there is a mechanism in our brain that really records our subconscious thoughts, our subconscious beliefs. Okay. And that mechanism then displays itself or shows up as your life. Okay. So, whatever your subconscious beliefs are, they are showing up in your life. And this power sentence is something that you want to become kind of subconscious so that it keeps you moving towards making your vision happen, right? And it leads you to lead a life that makes that vision happen. But what we often do is that we unconsciously ask ourselves I'll call it disempowering assumptions. Okay, so it was interesting. So as I kind of crafted this idea of a power sentence, I started to do a little work on this. And I came across a guy through another source, and his name is Noah St. John. And he has this theory about affirmations. Okay, in affirmations, the method for creating affirmations is 2 steps. Okay. And we're going to kind of go through that today and see how it plays into creating this power sentence. All right. See how they're related. All right. Before we just dig in, I want to say one more thing. The quality of your life, it really just depends on 2 things. Okay. It depends on the quality of your communication with the world inside of you. So, how you're communicating with the world inside of you, and the quality of the communication with the world outside of you. So, when we talk about there's 2 ingredients to success: mindset and systems. Notice that systems piece is really about the quality of communication with the world outside of you. How well are we communicating what needs to happen or you want to happen? But the quality of communication with the world inside of you is equally as important, more important, and that has to do with your mindset. Okay, so we're going to try to craft one magical sentence that kind of sets your mind in the right direction. It gives you fuel for your vision. So to do that, it's no surprise that we have to step inside. We have to step inside our future, right? We're gonna step into the future just for a moment and kind of have a word with someone that you've heard me talk about before, your future you. Okay. Now, your future you is 10 years ahead of you. Okay. She has done all the big thinking. She has accomplished all that she set out to do, and she has what she wants. Okay. So she's turned impossible into possible, into inevitable. She's walked over that bridge of wooden planks, the thought bridge that you might have heard me refer to before. She's gone over the river of misery. She's made it all happen. And she knows a lot about where you want to go because she's been there. Okay. So we're going to ask her to tell us who you are and why these things are happening. What's really under all of those doubts and fears and limiting beliefs, what you're made of. She's going to tell us that, and what your true potential is. So I want you to think about what you really want. And if this is something that's super hard for you, I encourage you to go to the toolkit, AndreaLiebross.com/toolkit, and download the 7 facets exercise, because that's what's really going to help you understand this. Okay, that 7 facets exercise is also inside the book. All right, but I want you to think about what you really want, who you want future you to be. Okay, now you might want future you to be someone who has a vacation home on the water that has enough bedrooms for everyone in your family to come and stay comfortably. Okay, future you might be someone who has a $10 million business and only works 3 days a week and takes 8 weeks off a year. Future you, she created a Think Big movement and now has 100,000 followers. Okay. The future you played golf with Rory McIlroy. Future you sung on stage with Taylor Swift. Future you took your entire extended family on a cruise. Future you has a personal chef. Future you has a leadership team of 10. Okay. Now, I want you to take all of these future you statements. These are all the things that future you wants. And instead of focusing on the how it's going to happen, I want you to focus on the why. Okay. Because guess what? The why always trumps the how. Okay. So I want you to think about this and ask yourself these kinds of affirmation questions. Why did I sing on stage with Taylor Swift? Why did I create a Think Big movement? Why am I someone who has a lake house with enough bedrooms for everyone? Why do I love having 10 weeks off a year? The purpose of these questions is to help you focus on what you have instead of what you lack. So, why are you a person that sings on stage with Taylor Swift? It's because you're a person who's not afraid to ask. Because you're a person who took vocal lessons for 20 years. Because you're a person who believes that celebrities are just human people like you. So these why statements, they need to begin with things like, why is it so easy for me to? Why am I blank? Why did I blank? Why do I have blank? Why do I love blank? Okay. These are calling forth what you have instead of what you lack. Okay. And the answers to these questions are what we're going to use to create your power sentence. So whatever the answers to these are, I want you to add at the beginning, I am. I am someone who asks for things. I am someone who knows I am capable of singing on a stage. I am someone who is an amazing leader to my leadership team. Okay. I am a brilliant leader. I'm running a thriving company with a talented team that loves providing a valuable service to hundreds of clients a year. I'm a confident, healthy business owner and great mom. And I know how to solve problems quickly and creatively so that I can take those 10 weeks off a year. I am a skilled practitioner that built a business from the ground up. And my excellent reputation makes me sought after. And I speak on stages all around the country. Okay. So answering these why questions, not the how. Remember, the how isn't going to fuel your future you. The why is going to fuel your future you because that's kind of an internal dialogue with yourself. Going and asking these why questions, it's kind of just like going to the Googles. Okay. And here's what I mean by that. Like, I actually talk about going to the Googles a lot. It used to be a line on my website. And if you think about it, we go to the Googles all the time to ask for answers, right? And your brain is like Google, but you don't see it like that. All right. So Google, right? It's like the world's most popular search engine. And when you type a word or phrase into its search bar, sometimes it actually even forms it into a question. Or if you ask Alexa, right? If you ask Alexa, Alexa answers the question. Okay. And your mind works just like this. It automatically performs a search to answer what you asked it. But when you ask yourself a question, whether it's empowering or disempowering, your mind automatically begins to search for the answer. Okay, now there's a big difference though between your brain and Google. And Noah St. John does a really good job of pointing this out. He said that Google can't change the question that is asked. Google can't answer, after you enter in whatever you enter in, it can't say, oh, sorry, I don't feel like answering that question right now. I want to answer another question instead. That's because Google is software, right? It does not have doesn't able to make conscious choices. But you are able to make conscious choices. So instead of saying to yourself, why is it going to be so hard to create a leadership team of 10 people? Why or how will we ever get that lake house? Okay, you can flip that around. You have a conscious brain. You can train it and change it. Your brain is going to find out the answer to the question, whether it's empowering or disempowering. Think about that. So if you go around asking negative questions, why can't I do anything right? Why am I in debt? Why am I so fat? Whether you're asking these questions consciously or subconsciously, your brain is going to find the answer. Right? So what you're fueling in with your brain with, the information you're putting in there, the questions you're putting in there, they're going to turn into beliefs. They're going to turn into your belief plan, which is not going to get you where you want to go. And if you ask the disempowering questions, they're not going to create a power sentence of I am someone who does this. Okay? Even if you're the smartest person in the room, even if you have all the money in the world, if you ask disempowering questions, you're going to create a life. It's going to show up, not in a way you want it to. Okay? So even if you don't consciously realize that you're asking yourself disempowering questions, since it's kind of subconscious, it's like that frenemy back there, your mind is still going to find reasons to make them true for you. Unless, good news, unless you choose differently. Like, good news, you have a human brain, right? I say good news a lot. So good news is that you have a human brain and you can make a choice. You can choose the questions you ask. And if you choose the right questions, your brain is going to find the answer, right? And because you have a choice at all times, like right now, is equal a choice to ask an empowering question or an affirmation than you do a question that's not going to lead you where you want to go. Okay. So once you start using this affirmation formula, why am I someone who has what I want? Why am I someone that created a business that has a $10 million revenue? Once you start using those affirmations, you don't have to go back to asking disempowering questions ever again. And then you can take those answers to those questions and create your power statement, which begins with I am. Okay. I am a person who speaks on a stage with 100,000 people in the audience. I am someone who gets to play golf with a world famous golfer. Okay. You get to do this. And you then, once you have accepted that you are and can become that person, once you have accepted them, these statements, and remember, we're answering why questions, we're not answering how. You need to read them and write them and say them and listen to them. And this is just another reason why we're having meetings with yourself and only yourself and not other people does not always create the life you want. When you have someone on your team, when you have someone beside you, they give you energy and they help you turn these power sentences into realities. When you begin to listen to your power sentence, to empowering affirmations, you're going to begin to drown out that negative voice and you're going to stop giving power to it. Okay. And that's why I do a lot of the coaching I do, because it is hard to keep in that place without having secured support. It is hard to keep your brain in the place where it asks Google questions that give you solutions that serve you, that are useful. Okay. But when you can do this, when you can create a power sentence, when you can use this tool of affirmations, when you secure support to help you tackle all of the uncertainty, to help you switch from disempowering questions to empowering, you create ultimate wealth. You create ultimate self-confidence. You create blissful sleep, as Noah St. John says. Okay. You live a life with purpose. It's so interesting. I have had to borrow on these affirmations over the last 2 months more than any other time, because I've heard a lot of disempowering questions that I could ask myself. And I had to really flip the switch to empowering questions. And this is what I do when I journal in the morning for 5 minutes. I set my phone for 5 minutes and I answer some empowering questions that I have created for the day. And you can have a power sentence that lasts you a day. You can have a power sentence that lasts you a week, or a power sentence that lasts you a lifetime. But that power sentence, I am someone who, you fill in that blank by asking yourself or creating an affirmation. Okay, my friends, that is what I have for you today. Your future you, it is not just something that happens to other people. You don't just have dreams that will never come true. You're not just accepting what life hands you. You're creating the life and business that you want. So I want you to keep that in mind. I want to keep you to keep that in mind. And if you're listening in real time, go grab that action package offer. Go grab the action package offer. Head over to my website and you will find it. And together, we are going to create an amazing life and business for you. We're taking action. We're holding belief. We're learning how to upgrade our internal communication. All right, my friends, that's what I have. I will see you next week. In this episode, this is totally a time to level yourself up. This is something everybody needs to know how to do. And I would love to help you do it. So if you don't have a coach, I would be honored to be your coach. The first step is heading to Andrea's with an S, links with an S.com and setting up a call. And we will see what we can do together. Way better than doing it alone. Meetings of one are no fun. Meetings with other people, strategy and planning sessions with other people, amazing. All right. See you next week. Have a great day.